morning, everyone. It's Monday, the 20th of March, and it's the day we've been looking forward to. With the day we start another book of the Bible in our daily devotional series. Can you do me a couple of favors? Would you, number one, tell some other Christian about what we're doing every day, and maybe it'll be a blessing to them. I take the time and effort to do this. We're not charging anyone. We're not raising money, but I do want to be a blessing to as many people as possible. You know what my name Jim means? My name Jim means helpful friend. And I pray that God will help me fulfill the meaning of my name. You know, my mom and dad never even named me. I don't want to go into other things in my family that have caused me to suffer mental, emotional damage. But no, my mother and dad couldn't think of a name after my brother Bob was born 6 years earlier. And actually, my aunt stopped to visit my mother, and she named me, my Aunt Pauline. Yeah, that was quite a thing, named by someone else. I told you my sister Pat was named because she was born on St. Patrick's Day. Not a lot of creativity there in my parental heritage. The other favor you can do for me is pray about April 21 through 23 as we have our Fan the Flame conference for pastors, leaders, wives, deacons, people hungry for God in New York City, in beautiful downtown Brooklyn. Go to the website and look for the Fan the Flame conference. Maybe God wants you to visit New York and be in a concentrated time of teaching, worship, prayer, and you'll be prayed for by the congregation if you can stay till the Sunday, the 23rd. Well, here we go. But to get to 1 Samuel, we've got to get context. So if you don't mind today, I'm going to do a little Old Testament history, which might take more than a day, but I know when I got serious about Bible study, I realized, wow, I didn't know the context of the books of the Bible. What's the difference between Ruth and Hosea? Well, Ruth is a woman's name. Hosea was a prophet. But where, when, why, who, what was happening there? So let's go back to God's call of Abraham in the Old Testament. He was called Abram then. I'll use Abraham. God came to Abram, who lived in Ur of the Chaldees, far east from the land of promise, the land of Israel. And he came to him and he said, leave where you are. Leave where you are. Leave your household, your family, what you're used to, your culture. Leave it and go to a land where I'm gonna show you. And Abraham went out, as the book of Hebrews says, not knowing where he was going, but God was leading him. He trusted God. We'll get back to that. He went finally, and he went first north to a place called Haran, and at Haran his father died, and then he went southwest a little bit, and he ended up in the land of Israel. And he began to build altars and worship God. He never built a building or a house, never erected that kind of dwelling, but lived in tents. And God kept making promises to him. He had made some at the beginning. I'm going to bless you, prosper you, and from your seed, from your progeny, you're going to bless the whole world. And I'm going to give you the land I'm leading you to, and a lot of other. And whoever blesses you will be blessed. Whoever curses you will be cursed. So he goes there, and over the course of time, he has a son, Isaac, and then Isaac has a son, Jacob. And Jacob has 12 sons who are called the 12 tribes of Israel, more or less. There's a little deviation there, but I'm not going to go into that. And they end up going down to Egypt because they sell their brother Joseph into slavery. Those 12 brothers don't like him, and those other brothers, and he ends up there in Egypt. And God raises him to the right hand of Pharaoh through a lot of trials and tribulations. Poor Joseph. And Joseph ends up being next to Pharaoh and distributing all the food resources that Egypt had, which he interpreted a dream and knew they needed to store up food because a drought was coming. And who do you think ends up going down to Egypt to get food? Jacob. Elderly Jacob says to his sons, some of them, you got to get down there, we're going to die. And that's where the book of Genesis kind of ends. The brothers go down. Joseph reveals himself that he is their brother who they tried to do more than pow-pow. And Jacob follows and comes down, and they are living in Egypt. You need to know these things. They're living in Egypt, and this is all covered in the book of Genesis. So they're living in Egypt and favored by Pharaoh because he loves Joseph and honors him. So that's Act 1 of the historical narrative that we need to know to get to 1 Samuel. What do I want to bring out about that for us today? Abraham trusted God so much that he left what he was used to go to a place that he didn't even know where it was, or how he would know when he arrived. And that faith God counted for righteousness. Abraham believed God, and it was counted to him for righteousness. So long before the law was given, we'll get to that tomorrow, to Moses on the Mount Sinai, God had his original plan laid down. The just shall live by faith. Abraham believed God. Boy, you talk about your faith being tested. I'd like to be told, leave everything you know and go to a land where? Show me, give me the Jeep, give me the map of that. No. You just go. I'll tell you when to stop. I'll tell you where to settle, and I'll direct your movement. Maybe God is speaking to you today and me. Trust me. Don't go by your plan, go by the master plan. You'll need faith, though. But listen, we know now on this side of Calvary, if God loved us so much, he gave us his son. He's not going to fail guiding you and me today. Let's trust him. I'm going to see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.